Hello students, I am Mr. Seiler and I'm going to read a flash fiction story for you today. Flash fiction consists of stories that are typically under 1,000 words, but many flash stories are 500 words or fewer. So what's great about flash fiction is that a reader can finish a story in just a few minutes, say while you're eating breakfast or waiting to get your hair cut or whatever. The point is the stories are brief and they're kind of perfect for our fast-paced culture. And I have a book here titled The Best Microfiction of 2019. I found it in a bookstore, and I like the fact that the book has all these different really brief stories from all kinds of different writers, men and women from all over the world. So it kind of opens you up to new perspectives and things like that. And you can read them quick, so it's one of the reasons I love them. The story I'm going to read for you today is called Tonight We Are Awake by Melissa Good. She's a writer from Australia, and I actually provided a link to her website. So if you like her story, you can go to her website and you can read some other pieces of flash fiction that she's written. You can even send her an email if you want. She has a Twitter account. You can send her a tweet. She'd probably appreciate that and probably get back to you. So anyway, again, the title of the story, which is less than 400 words actually, is Tonight We Are Awake. The main characters are a man and a woman, boyfriend and girlfriend, but the story's point of view is seen through the eyes of the woman. The setting of the story is at first the couple's apartment, but then, so they're in an apartment, they live together, but then there's a fire alarm. They're kind of woken up in the middle of the night, and there's a fire in their apartment. It doesn't become this major fire, it's a small fire, but because there is a fire, they're forced to go out of their apartment, and they have to stand, at first they stand in a little away from their apartment in the grass, and other people are kind of congregating out there as they exit the apartment building. And then after that, they go to a gas station nearby as the firefighters are kind of working at cleaning up the mess and fixing the fire and putting it out. They go to a gas station nearby and they eat some food before they return to their apartment. At the end of the story, they get back to their apartment. It's a very simple story on the surface, but there's something kind of deeper going on, which is one of the reasons I like this story. And the title gives us a hint. It says, Tonight We Are Awake. So I think you'll see after I read the story that the couple, the man and the woman, they're maybe not that close, like maybe this is the end of their relationship, but because of this fire scare, they're woken up in the middle of the night and they're kind of shocked awake and actually come together and are close this one night in a way that maybe they haven't before. What I'm going to do is read the story and then kind of offer some commentary about it and speak about that idea more. Okay? So again, Melissa Good. It's a very short story. Tonight we are awake. We were asleep when someone banged on our front door. With what? A wrench? It was deafening. It was a home invasion, except it wasn't. A firefighter yelled at us to evacuate. There was a fire in the building next door. You said, evacuate, really? Is that necessary? He was already gone. We walked down 15 flights of fire stairs and I'm dizzy like I've been smacked over the head with a brick. Downstairs, in the front courtyard, we congregate in pajamas, bathrobes, slippers, and flip-flops. Children clutch worn-out teddy bears. Some cry in their parents' arms. Others are asleep again. The forbidden cats and dogs are here too. The building next door billows black smoke into the orange, light-polluted sky. Our hair and clothes smell of smoke. Is it hotter? Someone says that they see flames, but no one else does. Someone goes on and on about their asthma, dragging on their rescue inhaler, until they are taken away on a stretcher and silenced with oxygen. You and I walk down the road to 7-Eleven, fluorescent white and fridge cold. We squint and shiver. Half our neighbors are here, loitering in the doorways and in the aisles, reading their phones, licking Doritos' dusted fingers, sucking down Slurpees, flipping through magazines, singing along to She's Like the Wind and I Drove All Night and every other Man, I Love This Song. Let's never go home, someone yells to no one in particular. We eat hot dogs even though we shouldn't. The bread is white, confectionery. We don't think about the meat. The pig's ears, lips, assholes, whatever. A few receive a text that we can return to the building. They, all of them, file out into the street partway through constant craving. You buy us both large coffees and a packet of peanut M&Ms. We sit at a table, hand in hand. We are still cold, but getting warmer. We are quiet. We will go home and hold each other and not sleep at all tonight, even though we have to work tomorrow. We will lie on our bed in the dark gray dawn and listen to the birds sing and swear it is the first time we have heard them. And that's it. simple. So some people might read that and think, oh, okay, not much going on. But again, I think with the title, Tonight We Are Awake, it's just tonight, it's kind of implying that maybe there's something in the relationship that they're not awake to other times, other parts of other parts of their lives or other days. And I think that one of the reasons I also like it is that I think this is kind of true to events in our own life. So if you kind of get into a habit, you might not be aware of certain things. And then something kind of shocking happens. So think about maybe the first time that the coronavirus hit, and I know the coronavirus is obviously a very serious thing, but the first time that it happened, we all became more alert, right? Alert about our families, alert about our loved ones, right? This story, it's a small thing, it's a fire, and I made a mistake by saying it was a fire in their apartment. It's actually the apartment building next door. But they all have to go outside. They're standing out in the middle of the night, and all these people are out, and they're looking at this fire and the smoke billowing, and then they move over to this gas station, which should be just, how many times do you walk into a gas station, it would just be, you're not sitting there thinking it's not this extraordinary place. It wouldn't be a place that you have this great connection. But what do? They sit with each other at the end of the story, and they hold hands, they sit at the table, they eat M&Ms, but it's all kind of told in this way where the couple seems to really connect at this time. But I think there's an illusion even by the time you get to the end of it, where they realize that they're going to have to go to work the next day, right? They're laying in bed together, and it's the first time, they swear it's the first time they ever heard the birds singing, right? They're still kind of in this moment of being kind of shocked out of their everyday life. But there might be a hint by that idea of like, we go back to work tomorrow, that they might fall back into that rut or that routine. But what's really cool is that every reader will have a different interpretation. So you could read this story and say, yeah, Mr. Seiler, I think that your interpretation is a little bit interesting, but I kind of think that this is going on, right? And like I said, the fun thing is that this is just one story, and I've written some notes, and there's all these other stories in here. So what do you guys think? Do you like it? I like the story, has a lot to say in a few words. So just from me talking about the story, I'm thinking about a lot of different things just based on those few 400 words. Other writers from the past have written wonderful flash stories too. For example, the famous American writer Ernest Hemingway, he wrote a number of stories that are powerful but under 500 words. Actually, Franz Kafka, one of the great writers in world literature, he also excelled at flash stories. Speaking of Kafka, Ms. Shackelford will look at one of his stories, The Metamorphosis, A Different Day. It's a longer story, so it's not considered a flash story, but it's really great. You guys should definitely check that out. Anyway, if you are interested in flash stories, either reading them or writing them or both, I provided some links for you. One link is for Flash Fiction Magazine, which is a really good one. I look at it every day. It actually publishes a flash story every day, so you can read a different flash story from your phone every single day from all kinds of different writers. I also have a link to a YouTube video that discusses some basic requirements that your flash story should have if you decide you want to write one yourself. So that's kind of one of the charms of flash fiction too, is if you're interested in writing, what kind of great way to start writing, but trying to take advantage of writing a story that only has, say, 500 words or 600 words or 400 words. Also, if you're interested in genre stories, there are also good websites that publish science fiction flash or mystery flash. A lot of it is free to read online. Okay. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed Melissa Good's story. Again, her link is up there too, so you can go check her website out, read more of her fiction, send her a message that you listen to Mr. Seiler read it for class. Hopefully next time I'll be able to read you guys a different flash fiction story. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for listening, and keep reading. Thanks.